most women date up only because of money.
Whether for whatever
But
reason,
you're talking
for
about
whatever
everything.
reason, for whatever reason, I'm just saying. This
But
is
you
what
can't
they
say
do.
for whatever reason.
No, no, no.
In our
No,
hold on.
no,
In
I
our
can say
in our
for
day and
whatever
age right
reason.
now,
I can say for
women
whatever
only
reason, 'cause that's
consider
not my
somebody. Hold up. In our age right now, women only consider somebody up when they have money. You can't talk about.
Well, then you speaking.
Can't
You
talk.
putting a blanket on
I'm
all women.
speaking for 2000. I'm speaking from 1990 to right now.
Why can't I speak for
You're
that?
speaking for the 1800s, bro.
No.
When I'm telling you right now, you can, bro, you can literally go on. Hold on, let me speak, because you spoke for a while. Hold up. You spoke for a while. Hold up. The only people right now that consider men up and that's gonna give them that superiority is if their bank account can match it. And you know that they don't care about if you can invest, because all these strippers and all this bottle girls right now, they get thousands and hundreds of thousands. They don't invest it.
Okay.
They don't go, and they don't even stay with the guy that has the money.
It's sad.
They don't stay. Hold up. They don't stay with the person that has the money. They move on to the next person. So if you can find somebody that has $1 million in their bank account, but you find the next guy that has 2 million, but he's dumb as a fucking rock. But the person that you found that has 1 million, you don't want to be with him, because why? Nice guys finish last, and that's a fact.
I know that's a fact, but
that's what I'm trying to say. Everything you were talking.
It's sad that you
doesn't have to.
It's sad that you would take. It's sad that you would take a woman wanting somebody that's at a higher level than she is.
Money puts them as a higher level, regardless.
You said that already. So can I respond to it? So what I'm saying is, I disagree with the fact that money puts a person at a higher status than somebody, because again, I did my best to talk about resources, and that doesn't include money all the time. Go ahead.
Is knowing how to grow your own food a resource?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is knowing how to...
Absolutely. No, knowledge is a resource.
Okay. So...
knowing how to build a house.
It's a resource. So we're not talking about money. So why you keep bringing it to money? I never mentioned the word money.
But we're talking about money.
Yeah, but
we're talking about money.
But
I gotta always bring it back to,
because
you're saying
talking about money in a negative way. You're talking about money in a negative way.
But this is what this is about.
But
this is about money in a negative way.
It doesn't have to be negative, though. If you
it is money. Negative. I only made this podcast, this episode, because this shit is negative. Yeah. Everything about it is negative, so we have to talk about it. Then, we have to talk about the fact that you only can say you can run your household if you are paying the bills, which means you have to have the money.
I didn't say that.
You only have to have the money to do anything. You can have the money, you can buy somebody, a guy that's smarter than you, that can tell you something that you think your wife know more than you about. If you have the money, you can buy that. If you have the money, you can buy a chef. If you have the money, you can buy somebody that'll build you a house. It's all about the money, and women will not attract to a man that doesn't have the money.
Okay.
But that's the fact.
Okay.
You said
I didn't say that. I didn't say that wasn't true.
No, you said that's sad. You said it's sad that I only think that way.
That's not. I was trying to say this. Listen, I said it's sad that you would equate that to only money and bring in strippers and people that take advantage. See, so let me
that's a life. That's life.
Yeah, it's shallow. So let me say this right here.
Hold up. This is shallow too.
Listen.
This is shallow as fuck too.
I'm assuming everybody on this thing is on this panel is married, right?
Yep.
I'm assuming that we're all good people. I'm not assuming a negative, because who's out there? Are you married to a stripper?
No.
Are you dating a stripper?
Well, it's nothing negative about being a stripper.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it was. I didn't say that. But you said the stripper is going to do the negative thing.
Oh, I said that because we got to talk to everybody.
I know that. But what I'm saying is it's about your choice of person now. So if you date somebody who's only there for the money, that is your choice. It's not, everybody's not out there for the money.
That's the majority, bro.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you. That's the majority. And that strokes a guy's ego if he can handle that.
Let's just say,
yes.
Let's just say there's a majority of people, women out there that's for the money. There's a majority, then is there an equivalent majority of guys that's okay with giving them the money?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So let's not talk about
yes.
So then that means there's somewhere in between of people who have money, and there's people who don't or see it as provision and being comfortable. So there's outer extremes to each point. So there's people taking advantage of it, and there's people that's comfortable in it.
Yeah, the majority is comfortable with, if a nigga has all that money, and I ain't even gonna say nigga, if a guy has all that money, this is what they want. There's people that do it in a classy way, like, yeah, I want you to take care of me, and they doing it in a respectful way. Like, I feel like I deserve this, right? I feel like, right, and then you have the
I'm coming from a pure place. I'm not coming for trying to take advantage or you. I've got the in somehow, some way, somebody says something like, you want to dominate your house or you want. It's not no domination.
Well, you say you make the last decision.
I do.
That's dominating a household.
Somebody has to make the last decision.
So why can't it be her?
Because she chose me to do it. That's why she married me.
But that's a totally different dynamic.
And I said I'm talking about my house.
But you made it an issue with the other scenarios.
I ask questions.
But everybody asks questions for a reason, bro. Let's be
Because
real.
I wanted to know the same way you're asking questions because you want to know and you wanted to get out. So you assume that I'm having some type of intention on my questions when I'm trying to get an understanding of the people that I'm sitting on the panel with, so I can know where we're going with this.
Let me help you understand who I am, right? I'm all about self-sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Which is respectable.
minimal luxury. This is
I'm gonna push back with you. Only that's great. Respect. Okay, but those are all adjectives.
What's the question you just asked?
No, I was
explaining
who I was as a individual and a husband. You know what I'm saying?
What you said it was respectable to you.
He said that. He said I
being self-sustainable.
So
we gonna get back to your point, but I always gotta, because I love where you come from, bro.
Yeah.
Self-sustaining. Is that enough? Is that where you're going with it? Is that enough in a relationship? The food, the shelter, growing your own food.
Okay. Well, it depends on what he means by self-sustainable.
Okay, so let's finish.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I could just say, yeah, that's enough, and then he left out a major part, or
right. So when I say self-sustainability, right, I grow my own food. I raise my own chickens. I make my own herbal medicine, hair, skin, all that stuff, right? I'm in, martial arts, self-defense.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Very important.
Very important. As well as being able to know how, because COVID taught me a lot. COVID changed the dynamic of what a household can even be right now.
It put a lot of households to the test.
Because it was like, where are we getting our food from? Are we willing to stand in those lines? Dad, do we even want to leave the house? They're talking about curfews, all of this. During that time, believe it or not, I've been a prepper for about 6-7 years now. I was pretty much situated. So this is self-sustainability. This is me having my basics, being able to have food, shelter, clothes on the back, right? There was a time where people didn't even want to drive or go anywhere because COVID kind of shook everything. And I had made a joke about, this was like right after COVID, and I did like a little video where I was acting like I'm in a club. I had a mask on. Yeah, we're in a club, Club COVID, just playing because I know there was a group of people who couldn't wait until the clubs open back up post-pandemic, right? So when I was talking about provisions, I'm talking about at the bare minimum, right? That's really the bare minimum, because I gave somebody some medicine today. She was on her period, and I gave her some yarrow. I said, here, this will help with the cramps. This will help with to lessen the heavy flow. And she made a joke about it. Oh, I'm eating grass. But in your mind, you're not even realizing. I said, no, that's not grass. That's medicine. In my bare minimum, being self-sustainable, I feel that is provision for my household. Right. And then I have a nonprofit. So the nonprofit is what brings in the finances to allow me to maybe even get some more land. That's when I said is an acre, provision or
And brother, can I address that real quick?
Yeah. So before you address it,
yep.
We having a great conversation, but we ain't hit none of these questions. So after you do that, let's get into the let's just start. Yeah.
But see, okay, as much as y'all been pushing back on me, I agree with him 1,000%.
Right.
You know why? Because that is what it looks like. That's not 50-50. That's you taking responsibility and doing the work that matters. Again, she could be like, hypothetically, she don't believe in COVID, or she just has a different opinion about that. Right. And what we know about COVID now,
right?
Because again, during that time, husband and wife had different opinions about.
Absolutely.
All right, so but
we still got a different one right now.
But now that we know who was right and who was wrong, or who had a better insight on it, we'll say that.
Right.
His decision making could have been paramount.
Right.
And it's not. It doesn't. You can't help me make this decision.
Right.
I have to make this decision. You knew deep down in your heart that was important.
Right.
It didn't matter what she said. No, don't get the land. No, don't grow your own food. You can't. It's no arguing with this. I got to do this. Baby, trust me on this one. You got to make the last decision. Now, that's an example.
Right.
That you can pull through all major decisions throughout your relationship. And he, as the man, having a foresight and having the skill set to provide that, he needed to do that with or without her approval. Is that fair to say?
I believe it's a decision.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't think you could pull it through every.
Well, no, I'm saying
because COVID was a life and death type of thing.
It could be pulled through every situation.
Not really.
It could be.
Because if we're talking about just buying a house, that's not life and death.
Let me.
And what if the woman's the one that has the more knowledge and understanding about it?
You gotta give.
If you're talking about him making a decision, you could pull it through. I get it.
Watch this. I'm gonna explain to you what I meant by that. This example can be pulled through any situation in your relationship. I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, it doesn't have to be life or death situation. Because COVID wasn't life or death. It was pushed after it was life. It was pushed after it was life or death. But when you look at the real numbers, right. And I'll leave it at that. Right. When you look at the real numbers, it wasn't what they said it was. We all know that now. So, period. So, but it was something that was necessary for the family. And he needed to make that decision. There had to be one person, regardless of what the other person felt, to make that decision. And there will be other situations like that. Like, say, for instance, we talk about the house. We use that example. If I see a house, now I'll mix both. What if she has the insight? Well, if she has the insight, then she has to explain to him that insight, and a real man will understand that she has that insight, and he will make his decision based on that. That makes sense. There's things that, when it comes to healing and that type of stuff, herbal, she makes the decisions on that.
Yeah.
Because she knows more about it.
But that's what I'll say with her, and what you're saying. That's logical.
It
better be logical.
It's not draconian. It's not draconian. All hell. It's not that.
Right.
But I know where she picked somebody that she did not have to have the stress of making these decisions.
Got you.
Because she knows that I can make these decisions.
Yep.
Because you have the resources and the knowledge.
I'm capable. A woman wants a capable man. Is that fair?
Yeah. So let me go to the next question.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. She wants a capable man. And whatever the capability at that time. I can't just be a nerd, just know all the books and know how to do this. I got to be able to defend the family. Right. Self-defense. I got to know how to work a firearm. You know what I'm saying? I got to know all these other things that gives me a status in the house that's a little bit higher than her. Why? Let me just again.
I be agreeing with certain stuff you say.
I'm speaking to mine.
So let me ask you a question. Hold on, let me ask you a question. If you're gonna speak to the masses of people, do you feel like it should be the same way?
I don't care what y'all do with yours.
Well, we gotta ask those questions because when I say certain things,
let me give you my perspective then.
Well, let's just get to these questions.
I'm gonna give you a different perspective than most people on this panel.
Oh, I know that.
Okay, so then there's people out there that think like me, and there's people that think like you. So I can't speak to everybody. I can only speak to the people that think like me, because there's a large contingency of people that don't agree with what you're saying. So you're not speaking to them.
Let's be real,
so let me speak to them.
If you go to a church, they want you to be saved. They want everybody to be saved. Mm-hmm. We don't say that's a problem. So what I'm saying is, give your opinion on on you, mm-hmm. and all of us. I'm not just talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, give your opinion how you feel. But if I ask you, do you feel like everybody should feel that way?
Generic question.
You know what I mean? Because it'll kind of help us.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Because I feel like you do feel that way.
No, I don't feel that way. This is what I feel. I feel whatever works for that person. And then this is the thing. It depends on what their goals are.
Right.
So let's just say, for instance, if we took a study of your marriage and my marriage, and we had enough data to, in your marriage too, and we had enough data to see how it turns out or how it's going.
Right.
There's some people who like, I don't want that. They're like, I can't stand bugs, so we're not gonna be outside. You know what I'm saying? But then there's gonna be like, well, he's successful, his wife is this, is that, is this, maybe that might work for me. You see what I'm saying? So it depends on what your goals are. See, me, I believe that anything and everything you do is a sacrifice. I believe 50-50 is a sacrifice. I believe if you're asking your wife or girlfriend to go 50-50 with you, there's a book called Superior Man. It's written by David Dietrich. And the book says that if you ask your wife for too many things, you get too little of anything. Meaning that if you want her to be all these things.
So that's not reciprocated?
I'm talking about what the book says.
I know.
And I'm gonna explain to you whether it's reciprocated or not. But if I'm asking her to help provide, I'm asking her to take care of the kids, I'm asking her to do this, I'm asking her to do that and do that. Or let's just basically, if I'm asking her to do the basic stuff that women do and to do the stuff that men do.
What if women do, men do?
I gotta ask that question.
Okay,
What we talking about here?
There are things that men do, and there's all things that women do.
So men only pay the bills?
I didn't say that.
Now I'm asking you.
Okay, I'm gonna explain it. I didn't say that.
Are women only supposed to take care of the
I didn't
kids?
say that, because guess what? Who does all the cooking in our house? Okay, so stop. So just stop. Stop with trying to paint the picture.
You said it, bro.
But you never gave me a chance.
You literally said there's certain things that men do and women do.
But then
when we look at the data,
and then you start putting things out there as if that's what I was talking about. So why don't you just let me?
Because you said when
you
things
asked
that
the question
women do,
and never
things
let
that men
me
do.
and never let me answer it. You start saying, "What about this? What about that? What about this?" And I didn't say none of that.
Because
so
I
why
can
don't you just wait
guarantee
for me to just say it?
I can guarantee you I already know the answers.
Well, if you knew the answer,
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm gonna assume. I don't care at this point.
Okay. Okay. So watch this right here.
So what are the things that women do?
Okay.
Only women.
I didn't say that. I didn't say only women.
Well, women
there's certain things.
Woman. Singular.
There's certain things that women do, and there's certain things that men do.
Like what?
I'm about to. Okay.
Let's go women only.
Women. Okay. Well, in any relationship, there's things that men and women do. In other words, depending on the situation. So there are men that stay at home and watch their kids, but the majority.
No, bro, you're missing it, bro.
Can I talk, bro?
That's you not answering my question.
I am answering. Maybe
you're not.
You want me to answer it?
What you just said? Well, what men do?
Yeah.
I said
because
what is
the
this
first
that
thing that I say when I answer a question? Well, does men do that too?
No.
I'm getting
what
that off
is
the
it?
top.
What is it that
women are the primary
what is
caretakers?
Women expected to do with their check?
Women.
Let's go there.
What are women? Well, personally, me. To do whatever she wants to do with her check.
And you said that 50-50 is a what? You said it's a risk.
I didn't say
saying some shit like
I didn't say that.
What was the word? A sacrifice? Actually no. When you DM'd me, you said
a trap.
Saying that a woman can do whatever with her check is the worst thing you can ever say. That's basically setting you up for like a COVID situation. Where if you stop working, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying if you stop working,
let's look at it this way.
And the savings ain't where it need to be, and your saving runs out.
Who's responsible for that?
What? It should be the woman. If you telling her she can do whatever let me talk. Hold up. If you're telling her she can do whatever it is she want with her check, right? COVID hit. Everybody was effed up. Yeah. You run your savings out. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying it happened.
You said everybody.
Grant Cardone, billionaire, he firing people. He can't afford it.
Okay.
So to say that somebody don't have money for a rainy day because they can just blow a check is the craziest thing.
I never said that.
That's the worst thing you can ever put on somebody, because now you're teaching somebody that they don't have to be responsible. And then if they're the person that's home with the kids, they're teaching the kids that they don't have to be responsible. And then that creates a disaster, because when they grow up, they don't know no financial responsibility. They don't know any educational responsibility. They don't know how to grow anything, because all they feel like is somebody gonna take care of me. In the world, you can do whatever you want.
All right, well, again,
that's crazy.
That's your perspective, and that's not any.
No, that's an actual fact.
Okay,
this is fact, bro.
Okay, but
that's not a perspective. That's fact.
Okay.
We can't say, we cannot say that's a perspective. That's a fact.
Based off of what I said, that's your perspective, because that's not what I said.
But that's a fact.
Okay. Well, anyway, can I continue?
Go ahead, yeah.
All right. So you asked me a question. You said, "What do I expect her to do?"
Yeah.
With her check.
What is a woman expected to do with her check?
And I said, anything she wants to do.
Mhm.
Right? Now you immediately spent the last 5 minutes going all this without saying, "Well, what do you mean by that, TW?"
Well, whatever she want is whatever she want.
No.
Whatever she want is whatever she want.
So can I talk?
That's not saying
talk?
whatever she want.
Can I talk?
Well, you said something, so I'm answering you.
Can I talk?
Go ahead.
Okay.
But every time
So,
you try to say
just
something that I didn't say, I'm gonna
You
interject.
did say that.
No, you said, yeah, whatever she want. So that's not what you want. That's what she want. You're about to try to
How do you
explain.
know- how do you
I
know-
guarantee
how
you,
do you
bro.
know she-
now
No,
you're
how
about
do
to
you
try
know
to
that she
switch it,
don't-
but I guarantee
No, I'm not trying
that
to
you're
switch
about to
nothing.
try to say something different. Because whatever she want, you don't even know what she want to spend her money on.
That's nothing.
Guaranteed. So I'm gonna let you go.
So here's the thing. This is so I'm having an issue right now.
Yep.
This is good. The reason why I'm having an issue is because you're putting words in my mouth and you don't have no idea what I'm gonna say. You're
Say that.
assuming now, and you making what you're saying fact versus opinion, like everybody else up here. So he has facts, I have opinion. Okay, it's your podcast, so I'll give you that.
Oh, we ain't doing that.
No, but you just said what you're
definitely-
saying is a fact, and you telling me what I'm gonna say and how I'm gonna change it.
You want to know
when
how I
said
know
nothing.
that? Because
How do you-
she's pushed back on you every time you said something crazy. She ain't pushed back on me when I just said that.
But what does that mean, though? What does that
It's a
mean, though?
fact.
Okay, fine, but does that mean what I'm saying I'm gonna change?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just telling you.
You said
I'm
I
just
guarantee-
telling you why.
You said I guarantee you what you're gonna do, you're gonna change when you don't even know what I was gonna say to change.
All right, go ahead. I ain't even finished. So, and if you say it, I'm gonna say you changed it. And if you didn't, I'm gonna stand up and say you didn't change it.
Bro, how do you know what I was gonna say?
Go ahead.
No. See, now you
Because I found your rhythm, bro.
All right, okay. So
I found your rhythm.
You don't even know me. You don't even know me, so you don't know my rhythm.
I know
idea.
this right
You
here.
have no idea. But
I'm
anyway,
talking about
I'm gonna
this.
finish what I'm saying though. A woman can do whatever she wants to do with her check. Now, it does not mean that she wants to go and spend it on anything. It does not mean, because see, again, I'll go back to what I said originally. It depends on who you choose as a mate. If you know your mate, you know what she wants to spend her money on. You know
What you talking about?
Listen. You know what she.
You talking about your woman, or you talking about? Because you just said
you know-
it doesn't mean what she wants to. Are you talking about your woman? Because remember, you just said I'm not talking about nobody but me. So are you talking about your wife, or are you? Because you said it doesn't mean women want to go spend it on everything.
Okay, watch this
So
right here.
are you talking
Watch
about
this right
your
here.
wife or everybody? Because I said speak to the masses, and you said no. I'm only speaking for me. That's what you said, bro.
I didn't say. I
So
didn't.
are you speaking for your wife or are you speaking for everybody? That it doesn't mean that women want to go and spend it on everything, because that is a lie.
Well, first of all, let me say this right here.
And I bet you if we find
Let
statistics,
me say
you'll be wrong.
Let me say this right here, sir. Sir, I'm gonna say sir because now you're starting to cross a little line here. You're saying I'm lying about something.
I'm not crossing the line.
No, you said that it's a lie.
I ain't say nothing about
Listen,
I said
that's a lie. That could be my opinion.
No,
but
we're
it
talking
doesn't mean
about
it's a
facts.
lie. But
When
it's not a lie.
you say
Listen,
women as
brother,
a whole,
brother,
you can bring statistics in
brother,
it. So I'm not crossing
brother,
no
first
line,
of all,
bro.
You asked the question. You didn't even give me an opportunity to say whether I was talking about personal or general.
You said women. That's
I
plural.
know that. I know that. So
You don't have to
and
say
then you asked-
personal.
But then you asked the question though. You said, "Are you talking about?"
So are you? What are we talking about? Yours or all?
Okay. So my wife,
Yep.
I chose because I know her character. I know what she stands for. I know what her principles are. And as I said earlier, we could talk about the trash women out there and what they will do with their money. Or we can talk about the contingency of people that somewhere in the middle that have chose their mate the right way. And I don't have to concern myself about a woman, any woman in my life, doing all those things that you said you went on that rant for 5 minutes about, because she's gonna do this, she's gonna do that, she's gonna do that. I know the person I'm dealing with. That's assuming that every man that gets money is gonna automatically go out and do all these things that people are saying they're doing. That's assuming that. See what I'm saying? But if you choose the right person and you take the vetting process the right way, you know what you got. So if I can give her the right, expect you do what you want to do with your money. How do you know she's not going to say, well, I want to invest my money?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. What do you expect?
I don't
her to do?
expect anything, like I said. I expect her to do what she wants to do. Now, I chose a woman who wants to do certain things with her money, so I don't have to expect it. Because that's what she does, that's what she was doing with it before I came.
Okay.
And that goes back to what I said, which was communication. It's like you communicate and you talk about what it is that you're going to do with your finances, and
that's
you already know.
choosing. That's
Right.
choosing the right woman.
So my question is now.
So did I change what I was gonna say?
Wait. Let me ask this question real quick. Let me ask this question. Now, does that mean her decision that she made is beneficial for the entire family?
In most cases, I'm gonna choose a woman who's family oriented. Okay. So obviously, her decisions, that's all her decisions are gonna be beneficial to the family.
Right.
So it's the same as her money is my money, is it not?
No, it's not, because she has a choice. See, it's about choice. See, here's the thing. My thing is this right here.
There's a choice there.
Well,
There's a choice.
it's
Because my money is her. It's a choice.
No,
like this.
I understand what she's saying. She chose to say her money is your money, right? Okay. She chose that. So that's an agreement that y'all made from the start. I chose to say, and we both chose that her money, she can do what she want to do with it. Now she can choose to do things that benefit the family with her money, but it's not necessary. That's up to her. Now, to go back to the point where you said COVID hit and all these different things, okay, granted, some people are in that situation where they need 2 incomes to survive. And I get that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm not saying they're lesser or anything like that. And some people are in positions that their 1 income can provide for them, their family, and everybody else. And I'm not saying that person is better. But what I am saying is this right here. And I'm speaking to the young men out here, specifically to them. That if you want a relationship that's sustainable, you want to give your woman the option. Because I'm going to say this, and give me a minute and 30 seconds without being interrupted.
I'm just listening.
No, watch this right here. If we go 50-50, right?
Yep.
What is the maximum that a woman is usually comfortable with in a relationship? Is it...
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm explaining. Is it 80-20? Is a woman usually comfortable with that? Most cases, no. No woman wants to carry her man 80%, right? Okay.
And we're talking financially.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm
most women don't want to carry, even emotionally.
Right.
Well, only reason why
I'm saying most women,
right,
don't
but when you
carry a man emotionally. No woman wants an emotional guy that she got to carry every time. So, oh, baby, for 80% of the time, right?
What do you mean by carry?
Because when you say that
Financial.
Well,
No, he said
asked
emotionally.
that question.
Well,
I'm saying other areas as well, financially and in other areas.
Because in marriages, I feel like some days I may be 100 on, right? Some days she may be
Stuff.
But why should
we're talking about money?
Okay, so they brought the
Y'all
money.
talking about
So let me finish.
when we say 80-20, I ain't talking about
I get that.
emotion. I'm
So
talking about money.
So let me get back to it. They asked that question. So what I'm saying is, my point is this right here. Most men would be okay with a 50-50. Because it sounds fair, right? Yeah, we go 50-50. Sounds fair, right? It's 2 people, 50-50. There's women that 50-50, no big deal. But watch the scale now. How many men would be okay with 60-40? Most men be like, all right, that's no big deal. Men 60, okay. Women 40. No big deal. How many women would want to be I'm sorry. Back up, I'm sorry. I had it wrong. How many men would be okay with 40 for them, 60 for the woman? Most guys like, shoot, all right, whatever. So a woman is going 60-40. How many women would want to do that? I would say it would be less than 50-50. And as we go through this scale this way, less women will be willing to provide more. But if we go the other way, there are more men that would go 60 for them, 40 for the woman, 70 for them, 30 for the woman, all the way up to 20, and even some will be willing to do 100%. So my point, my point is, this is what I said in a minute and a half to make this point. 50-50 is usually a max number for a woman and the minimum for a man. So what I'm doing by asking my woman to go 50-50 is I'm maxing her out in what she's willing to provide in a relationship. Let me finish.
I'm not gonna say no.
Okay, I'm maxing her out in the relationship when I am not even at my max. And I'll give one more analogy to explain what I mean. If I'm selling a car, I'm the seller, you're the buyer. My bottom price is this, and your top price is this. If we agree on your top price, and I agree on my bottom price, neither one of us are happy.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So in order to have real balance, you want both parties to be happy. and a woman is being maxed out of what she's providing, when it's most cases she would be better off in her femininity, not having to worry about the stress of providing, having the option to actually say, you know, babe, if you need this, I have it, versus I have to do this. You know what I mean? Jobs I told my wife to quit because it wasn't a situation. Like, no, it's not conducive to your mental health. Leave. Before we were married, we were barely dating. She got into a situation. Quit the job, come work for me. Because I didn't want her stressed out. I don't want a woman in a hustle and bustle world dealing with all the stresses of the world. I need her to be here with me mentally, physically, and emotionally. And it doesn't allow that for a woman that's dealing with stress on a day-to-day basis. That's my opinion.
Right. But what about the average family, though? Because average families are living paycheck to paycheck.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And they
good.
don't have that accessibility to say, just quit your job, you know, you're good.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
And after he asked that question, I'm going to get back to that, because that is a valid point, and I got a solution for that, too.
You said that you're maxing a woman out on 50-50.
I didn't.
You did.
No. I said that is her max. That's her
you
max.
said you're maxing her out, bro. You said
that's usually her max. Yes.
All right.
Yes, go ahead.
That math is all off. 50-50. Before she met you, if she's paying her own rent, that's not maxing her out, because good chances are, say the rent is $1,200 at her own, y'all get one, the rent is $1,200, you're actually helping her out. She's helping you out. It's not maxing nothing. That's one.
Okay. Can I just address that real quick?
Yeah,
well, when I say maxing her out, I'm not talking about maxing her out money-wise. I'm talking about, let me finish. I'm talking about,
you're screwing up my point, and that's what
I'm not screwing up your point.
Money.
Let me finish, bro. Yo, I'm saying what she's willing to contribute in the relationship. If you ask 100 women in a relationship, getting into a relationship, how much of the responsibility, financial responsibility, would you be willing to do? Most women will not say 50-50. And most women, if they have to do 50-50, they will. But most women will say, well, I would want to do about 30%.
Right.
That's
if they had the choice.
And this woman is saying it, she's agreeing with it. So this is what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. No, it does make sense, because she just agreed with me.
That's fine. But you said,
listen,
you just said we're not talking about money, and I told you everything we're talking about right now is money.
And I'm talking about money now.
It's the math.
I'm talking about money.
You said if a rent is $1,200, let's just stick to the freaking topic. If the rent is $1,200,
this is the topic.
Because you said I wasn't talking about finances.
Yeah, but we're talking about it now.
We're talking about finances.
30%. How much of the finances?
Listen,
how much?
Simple.
Most women would want to give about 30% of the responsibility of the finances in a relationship, right? That's what you said. You agree with that, right?
I would say if a woman has,
but I'm going off what she said, and that's what we're talking about now.
You can't deflect.
Bro,
leave her out of it.
If you want to talk about something other than finances,
you said the rent is $1,200. You said it out your own mouth. I don't want to max her out. We're talking about finances.
Yes.
If it's $1,200, you get into a relationship. 600. We're talking about 50-50. 600. Let's not talk about the other bills.
Okay.
That's not a max. Nowhere.
Okay.
You actually relieving her from relief, right?
I get it.
Right.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about finance.
And that's what I'm talking about.
No, you said we weren't.
So wait. So would you now come in? Look, so now would you come in and say, all right, I'm now going to take over the rent. You don't have to pay the $1,200 anymore.
Well, first of all, she will be moving into my place that I'm already paying the rent.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm already paying it.
So, but I think in this scenario, you would be moving.
We're talking about getting one together.
Okay.
Y'all both move out of your place
and y'all get a new one.
Okay. And then I will buy something that I can afford. And I'm going to tell you why I could afford it. For if the COVID situation happened, so now watch this right here. Remember the situation I said I was going to get back to you with? Okay. Most people can't afford it. I don't believe they can't afford it. I believe they just haven't set it up that way. And normally it's not a money problem when it comes to people. It's a discipline problem. So let's just say, for instance, a man is on his own. He's paying, say, $1,200 a month for rent. He gets with a woman, and this is why your math don't work, because most cases, they're not going to get a place for $1,200. $1,200 is for a single person, right? Let's be fair. You're gonna move into something that's bigger, right? So it's not going to be 1,200.
No, that's
me-
an opinion, bro.
No,
That's an opinion.
It's opinion just the same way yours is opinion.
No, you said 1,200 is
Most
a
people
single.
are not going
That's
to.
your opinion.
Most people are not. Watch this right here.
That's your opinion.
Let me ask you this. Does this make sense? I live in a place that's 1,200. You live in a place that's 1,200. Why would we move into a place together that's 1,200? Most people are going to upgrade because it's two people.
Most people may not be able to afford.
If they can't, then they could just. She could just move in with him.
A single bedroom?
That's what I just said. You said if they.
When either which person moves in, who decides who's gonna pay the rent? That's what the question is. It's like, does he move in and say, or does she move in? And
Let me
say,
ask you
"Okay,
this
I don't
right here.
pay it anymore."
If a woman, I'm gonna go back to the max out thing. When I said max out, is that the contribution of finances into a relationship, most women prefer to do a 70-30 split. That's fair for most women.
Regardless of the numbers, it's like, I get where you're coming from. Like,
And all I'm saying is that,
didn't have to.
yeah, she didn't have
That
to.
was the-
Yes. So then go. Okay. Yeah. That's all I said. Okay. And again, there's double standards. Listen. Okay. So let's touch that then, because that's a valid question.
You know what I'm saying? I said most American people cannot afford.
That's valid.
their
That's valid.
Counterpart hold the household down.
That's valid. So let's speak to those people then.
Right.
All right. So I believe that it's something as a man, and this young man right here, younger than me, this young man right here has the blueprint, whether he knows it or not. So what I'm saying is this right here, there's provision that has to occur before that man even involves himself with a woman.
Right.
And so watch this right here. Let's just say I got a 22-year-old, 23-year-old. I got a 23-year-old. Huh? I got a 23-year-old kid.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
Yeah, I got a 23-year-old, right? So this is what I'm teaching him. Now, once you get past this point, it's over. Like, you in that situation. But as a 23-year-old male, this is what I teach him. I said, from 18 to 25 to 23, don't think about girls. Why? Because you have nothing to offer them. You can't take them nowhere. You can't bring them to the movie. You don't have a place to bring them if you want to do something. You got to scramble. You don't have anything to offer. And that 18-year-old woman is at the highest value that she's at, because she could find a 25-year-old with a job, come scoop her up, get her out of her house, take her to the movies. So you can't even compete with that. So don't try. Focus on your college, your career. By the time you're 23, you graduate. Now work in your career and build yourself up and save your money. So when you're 30, now you can start looking to date. Maybe 28, 27, whatever, but you can start looking at that and do the provision so that you will be able to afford this type of stuff. Because again, if I'm looking to be a CEO of a company, and what you really are doing when you're marrying, it's a company. The same role as a CEO, the head of that is the person who makes the decision. Now, he has a board, which is the family, but ultimately he makes the decision, right? Now,
This is based off culture, though, right?
Based off culture.
Right.
And it's based off what you want.
culture is
It's different. There's some cultures that won't even allow a woman to make a decision. So there's extremes on each side of it. So all I'm saying is this right here. I teach my son and my nephews to establish yourself financially before you take on the responsibility of a family that you can't afford. Now, if you're in a situation where you meet somebody and y'all can't afford this or that, if you're living on your own, bring her into that house, save her check for 3 years. Don't touch it. Sacrifice. Everything's a sacrifice. Sacrifice for 3 years.
Save her check?
Save her check for 3 years.
Save her check.
And the reason why you want to say,
Hold on, wait, whoa.
I'm gonna tell you, let me finish. Let me finish.
Y'all know where I'm at with this, though, right?
Yeah, I know where
Save
you're
her
at
check.
with
Yeah.
You said do whatever.
Listen, I'm talking about a young kid. I'm talking about something.
difference?
It's a big difference. I'm talking about my situation, and you asked me. She asked me to speak.
No, I get it.
She asked me to speak to the people who are not in my situation.
Have to push back.
You asked me to speak on people.
50 is
That can't afford.
Listen, she asked me to speak for people that are not in my situation. So you can't judge me on what I'm saying based off of what I said about my situation. Now you're being a hypocrite.
No, I'm not, because you're telling him to tell somebody else to save their check.
Because they're not in my situation. How do you know?
can't
How do you
tell
know
them to
that?
tell somebody.
How did you know that I didn't do this to get this situation?
I'm talking about somebody else. You can't tell him to tell a woman.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You said, I'm going to have him to tell her to save her check.
Listen, Listen.
You can't tell him.
Listen, I can tell him anything I want to tell him.
Check with no money.
Whether
he ain't got the money, so how is he dominant in a situation to tell her to do something?
He doesn't have to be dominant. He just have to have the right woman.
What?
He doesn't have to be dominant.
We just went through all of these things.
When did dominant?
You gotta be smarter than somebody.
And he is smart. He is smarter by having a plan. He has a plan for them to get to where they want to go.
So that makes you
You use the word dominant. I never said dominant. You see. Yeah, no. Okay, but
happens with the family unit. For example, let's play into the fact of.
You asked me a question, right? So let me just finish my point and I'll let y'all go.
Man, tragically passes away. And then what happens to that family unit? Now you don't have the man to be.
Well, first of all, I never finished my point. So you can't even make a scenario when you don't know how my point ends. So again, I just wanted to finish my point. But that's a hypothetical that doesn't apply to what I'm saying though. So my point is this right here. You asked me, how does a person that don't have the resources to not have a second income in their house do what I was proposing doing? And I'm trying to give you a blueprint for that. That's all I'm doing.
I get it.
All right? So I'm saying, as if you're a young man, you start from the beginning. You have a plan at 18 to provide. Now, yes. Say it again.
We got all the way up to the savings.
Yeah. So, but now we switched from not a young man, but somebody who already is in a situation.
Exactly.
All right. So now you're in a situation. You're not a young man no more. You met somebody, and you don't have your finances together. So now there has to be a sacrifice. Somebody's gonna have to sacrifice. Now, it could be the woman, it could be the man, whoever you want to be. Like again, if it's good for you, I love it. It doesn't matter to me. It's not about male dominance. So that word dominance is something I never said. I'm saying
superior dominance is pretty much the same thing.
Being superior and dominating somebody is totally different. I can be superior to you and don't dominate you. Superior is an adjective, dominant is an action. Those are two separate words. One's an adjective and one is a noun. A verb, rather.
Thing, bro.
It's if that's what you look at. It's a dirty word if you make it a dirty word. I'm superior to a bunch of people that I don't dominate.
Okay.
I don't dominate everybody, and I could be
superior to he dominates.
But that's the game. That's the game he's in. I'm not in the game of dominating people. I'm in the game of empowering people, enlightening people, giving people information. And that's what I'm doing in my relationship. And that's what I'm doing.
You gotta be superior to
I didn't say that. I said a woman. I didn't say you have to be superior. I said a woman prefers a man that's superior. I didn't say you have to be superior. You're putting words in my mouth.
Why? Yeah, why?
It
Why
means
not, instead of saying superior, we could say a woman would want a man that's going to lead.
okay. And in order to lead, you have to be superior.
But that's
Not
what no, you don't.
Okay, well then what's the point that anybody can lead then? Anybody can lead then.
Same thing with
Y'all,
the same
I
thing
see what you.
with everybody.
He wants controversy, y'all. That's all it is. He wants controversy. He don't want to learn. He don't want to learn. He wants controversy because now you're taking words. I have a bigger point. I have a bigger point than superior, and you're focusing on.
Let me just
Words matter.
But you stop it if you're trying to get somewhere. You stop it on every little word.
While these words mean, while superior is to all influence and importance, dominance applies to something that is uppermost because of ruling or controlling. So there is a difference between superior
Big difference.
and dominant.
Ruling and controlling. You control your house.
No, I don't rule and control. Bro, why are you trying to? You want controversy, bro.
I'm not just talking out my ass, and I don't want controversy for
Right.
bullshit.
Bro.
I'm literally stating stuff you're saying.
Yeah, but you're taking it out of context, though.
There's a thin line between how to define what is superior and what is dominant.
I get it, but I'm just speaking to what he says.
Yeah,
So,
and you're assuming that I'm trying to dominate something.
Working too much, trying to provide, well, we're talking about paying our bills.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Being burnt out. Not being able to be that person for your woman. Does that matter?
It does matter.
And if it matters, how do you combat it?
I have a question. What you mean by that person? Not being that you said.
Like your normal
Like
self.
your
Oh.
typical self.
Okay.
Like,
I could go.
Fun you.
the fun you. Yeah.
I'll go.
Everything y'all do that y'all love to do. Because that burnout.
It is heavy, and I'll tell you why. So I've working. I don't know if anybody's ever worked in kitchens or in the food industry. You're crunching
I
hours.
own a restaurant, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
So you have
Or the mental health.
12
Not too far off.
between 12 or 14 hours.
That's why you messed up. Psychologically, you all screwed up. I get it now. I get it now.
How does that make you feel?
Right.
Yeah. She's a psychologist, so yeah. Good choice of panelists.
Better y'all. I was like, oh yes.
Right. You're like, yeah.
He's gonna stop all of this shit, and we're just gonna try to keep it going. And then he's just gonna come in here, and he's gonna give us all the important shit we need. He's still gonna keep going. That's why we sitting right here looking at each other. And then she gonna say something that's smart as hell that bring us right back, and it's gonna keep going.
I feel like I worked in a country club, one of the most stressful jobs I've ever worked in, and I had my first daughter around this time I was working, and I'm talking like you clock in for an 8-hour shift, and they're like, nah, you staying for another 4 hours. We need you guys to stay, and then that's like 5, 6, 7 days a week most times. When I tell you there were so many nights I came home, I just couldn't do anything but just go to sleep. Or I'm grumpy because I'm like having issues at work. I'm not, and I'm not being able to be that person, that guy for my wife because it's like, you don't understand. I'm stressing at work. I got this going on. Then I was working another job, and it was just so much stress to where I quit. I said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I will never work for another company. I will work for myself only. And I quit the job. I went into my business full time. And for the first 2 years of running our business, we were doing great. Like we were making money. Yep.
You and your wife business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It was a family business. We were doing great. We were making money. And then we got too excited because, and this is where I made a mistake. I will admit, allowing her to make the financial decisions without me overseeing it caused us to go in a hole.
What do you mean, like paying the bills?
No.
I think he means communication wise.
Like,
right?
I'll say, she was overseeing the money. How much money is in the account? Oh, we're still good. Okay, I'm trusting, right? We start traveling. We go down.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
I wonder, like, making the money, do you pay the bills too?
What do you mean?
Not you, just in general.
So is it like a plan and then you just pull out?
Say if you're, in your situation, you pay 100%. Is that bank account joint? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's our business account. It's our business account. And then we have
you're speaking for the business.
Yeah, business-wise. But, if our money goes to our business account, we then take the percentage out that we pay ourselves with, put it in our account, like that, right? And there was a time where I'm like, all right, we're good. Let's go down south. We get on the road, we go down south. And my wife, I could tell, well, even myself, but I'm always thinking, we're not getting into no dirty hotels, motels. Got the kids with us. We need a suite. We need this, but I need to know if we're good, because if we're not good, I'm going to keep driving until we get to where we got to go. No, we're good, right? So one time we spent $7,000 traveling. And I'm thinking we're good, and we get back home, I'm like, all right, we need money to go get this. Oh no, we only have $1,000 left. What do you mean, $1,000? But the rooms cost this, and I'm like, I was furious. Like I'm not even gonna lie, but I can only be mad at myself because I should have said, no, I need to see what is in the account. I need to see and my wife is usually good with, Groupons or getting discounts or trying to pull, discounts out of whatever.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If you would have got stuck down south, right? Stuck, I'm talking about jammed up. Whose fault would it have been?
It would have been mine, but
that's all. No. Let me say. So it would have been your fault, and that's why I take the position that I take. Because if something like that does happen, it will fall on the man. You're not gonna be like, well, my wife. You can't do that. You can't put that on her. So you have to take responsibility. That's why, for me, I feel that if that is going to be my responsibility, if it goes bad, I am going to be the one spearheading the decisions. Because if it goes wrong, it's going to be on me.
Right. But this is why I think some people have to go through the experience to learn that.
I learned already.
Don't give me, right.
That's why I'm saying it. That's why I handle myself the way I handle it.
So I'm not in fully 100% disagreement.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
But what I'm saying is, I had to go through certain things to understand why, for my marriage, my wife can't make all the financial decisions because, again, emotionally, she may say, yeah, we want this nice room. In my head, I would have said, look, well, let me push these next 6 hours. I'll pull over for a second, take a 30-minute nap, and we hit the road so we can get
Now, watch this right here. Watch this right here. I'm going to add something to your story. What if she was driving and if the decision was based on her being tired and being able to handle the drive? She would have pulled over because she was not equipped to making, like, you would have been able to push through.
Right.
She wouldn't have been able to push through as safely as you. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. And I wanted, there was a point you made about the laundry, right? And sometimes, you know, and this is also how people are raised, too, how the woman is raised. My wife was raised by a single mother, right? Right? So a single mother is going to teach her daughter to be independent.
Yep.
So sometimes, right, I will allow her to learn.
Just so she'll know.
Because she'll say, babe, I got this.
Yep.
No, I got it. Okay.
But sometimes you got it now.
Right, no, which sometimes you will, but it brings it to
But then you at the top of the steps.
Wait, I was gonna say. Then it brings it to the point of saying, how far can you travel that? And then later on, I gotta hear, oh, my shoulder messed up. And it's like, this is why I try to tell you. So I'm not always trying to be like, you need to listen to me.
So it's fair to say that we all have kind of the same, but it's just how it's coming across on my end. I'm coming off real sharp because I've been through it already. I know the outcome of this. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. I've seen a woman that wants to do everything on her own and the relationship turn to shit. Yeah. I've seen it. And I've seen relationships where there's one clear-cut leader and he makes the decisions and she say, look, I chose the right man that's gonna make the decisions for us.